Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in the wild beyond the Witchlight, Part 13, The Wayward Pool. Today is April 10th, 2022, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. You can also find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, did you know that we have an after show called Nights in the Courtyard being hosted over at patreon.com/indooradventures? Now, the reason that I bring that up when I'm mentioning other things that are free is because it is simply being hosted there. You do not actually have to be a supporting patron in order to do it. We just have it separated to make it a little bit easier, a little bit more separate, so that way you can actually find it there. Other than that, the easiest way to ask us those kinds of questions, get in on all of this fun after show stuff, as well as hang out with the cast, I would say crew, but that's just me at this point. You can join us over on our Discord. The link can also be found in the Twitch chat to the side, or in the video, or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. Or if you're watching this live on Twitch at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Sundays, then you can also find it there in the description of this video or audio cast. I'm going to quick give the old band hammer to that guy. Boop. There he goes. Get out of here. So, with that in mind, if you also support us on Patreon, you also support us on Twitch and YouTube and all of those other wonderful places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to help support this fantastic show even more? I got your back. Quite literally, in fact, because if you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and we also have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all the proceeds of those masks and currently all of our merch is going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for my opening spiel. So, hey RJ, who you playing today?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and today I'm playing Vice, the Tiefling Rogue.
Hi y'all, I'm Sarah. I will be playing Lowry Moon, our Hexblood Spore Druid.
I am Mediaflare. I am going to be playing Pamferdam Roski, the Gnome Artificer.
I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm going to be playing as Clout, the Tiefling Bard.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, after getting done communicating with the individual known as Nib, this blind... what do you say when somebody was previously a landlord, an ex-landlord? He owned property, and he was kind of a stinky bastard man for it, as it turns out most landlords are. But he bequeathed upon you a variety of wonderful instruments and tools, and it was at that point that you all began to make your way towards Little Oak, where you would hope to find Will of the Wood. Now, along your travels, you ended up meeting with some fantastical, fun, fresh, I wouldn't say sexy, but I would say fun guys, as you ended up meeting with a singing operatic mushroom known as a campestre. You then went a little bit farther into the woods and saw some nasty-looking reptilian claws and track marks that led nearby. Following the track marks at a later point, because honestly, you did not want to deal with the reptilian tracks, and no one's gonna judge you for not wanting to deal with that, you ended up coming by a cart attached in front with a domesticated owl bear whose name was Juniper. Befriending said owl bear with the help of a natural 20, Lowry was able to then get your owl bear and your traveling cart, well, at least in better sorts. You made your way forward, and you ended up trying to get to the Wayward Pool, this lake in the middle of Thither. Upon your attempts to getting close to this lake each and every time, you were instead turned away, mixed around, slightly veering off, and there was no possible way that you could find as to how to actively get to this lake. It was at that point that a ghostly call came from the upper trees, decrying that one of you had a funny hat, another had great music, and then others also having great music, but for entirely different reasons and for entirely different sides of the roles that they were made. However, it ended up being so humorous to these disembodied voices that you watched as a small child, no older than 12 or 13, fell from a tree, landed on their back, still roiling in laughter. It was at that point that you were greeted by Will of the Wood and his getaway gang, a group of legally distinct Peter Pan-style characters that simply live within the Forest of Thither. Now, it was at this point that they invited you over for the fanciest dinner in their humblest abode of none other than macaroni and cheese and a few short links cut into there as well. You ended up making your way to the Little Oak, where not only did you find a most wonderful dinner amidst a absolutely destroyed kitchen, but you also encountered a individual that you had not seen in quite some time, and by you, I quite mean Clout, as this creature was none other than the displacer beast kitten known as Star, the offspring of Dear Leground, one of the employees of the Witchlight Carnival. Now, where we ended last week's session was that it was nighttime, it was night-night. Clout had been conscripted to read Will of the Wood and the Getaway Gang a bedtime story because Clout put quite a bit of money into the swear jar, and they were all very excited to hear a story with, so many swears in it. It was at that point that Clout attempted to play to their childlike nature and maybe sow a little bit of regret in them for having taken this displacer beast kitten away, leaving a more open-ended story. However, children show no remorse about anything that they do, so why would this situation be most any different? Resulting in Clout getting a bunch of pillows and blankets thrown at him. To which then Clout said that the story was up for these young kiddos to finish on their own. So that is where we left off. But throughout the evening, is there anything that you all would like to do or like to work on as you go night-night for the evening here at Little Oak? If not, we can just move into the next day, no problem.
Pamferdam is kind of in their old element and excited to be around. Oops, my CC was not on. There we go. Pamferdam being excited to be in their old element of caretaking mode around these lost children's. They went to a private area wherever they could and started grabbing all of their various materials and putting them together. And try to craft a small handful of toys and games for the wee ones. Okay.
Sounds good. So you are crafting toys and games for the little uns. Vice, you, Lowry, Clout, and three of you doing anything while Pamferdam is doing this.
Yeah, Lowry's gonna go outside, sit under a nearby tree if she can, or under this tree.
Oh, there are many trees, and Little Oak is Little Oak as a tree ant is vibing that somebody wants to rest outside with them.
Yeah, she's gonna go hang out outside, and she's gonna pull out her novel and sit down and read for a bit.
Okay.
Vice has made it down to the base of Little Oak and just cracked out a pipe, switched out the tobacco for that good. And he's going to hang around for Daisy to come back.
Yes. You mean Juniper?
Oh, Juniper. Yeah, I sent her out to hunt.
Yes. Yeah, so you switch it out with the tribe or with the Icewind Dale Thunderfuck, having an absolutely great time with it. And eventually, Lowry, you and Vice end up seeing none other than Juniper, your very friendly, very domesticated owlbear return, with blood splattered on the lower beak. But she looks fine. She looks happy. Nothing bad has happened to Juniper, and nothing will because we don't hurt pets. as best we can help it.
Vice just like walks over, like rubs the top of her head. Who's our little murder machine? Is it you? In Elvish.
Just and just
yeah.
big old, as we described previously, Walla Bear and part owl. Owl bears purr. It's canon. I'm the DM. So you just have those big, like, deep rumbles of just like it's a karoo. And they are just like giving you head rubs.
Does she look like she got enough to eat?
Vice has like gotten some water, put it into a handkerchief, and starts like rubbing away at the feathers for the blood to come off. I don't think she would have come back if she was still hungry.
All right.
Do you imbibe? He says, tapping on the base of his pipe.
Oh no, thank you though.
Well, for me, I guess.
All right, and Clout, what are you up to?
I suppose Clout will finish any chores that are left over in the house. I know that we did dishes earlier, but there are almost certainly dishes after dinner is done. So
Oh, for sure.
Clout will just go do some chores until there's no more chores left to do.
And Clout, you see that throughout all of this place that you can see here in Little Oak, the comfiest looking chair has what looks like this old kind of dented looking oil can sitting in it. And when you get closer, there are indents on the oil can that make it look like it has a little bit of a, like, almost like a frumpy face. That it's just making a, like, kind of expression.
Huh. I think he'll address the oil can. This your chair?
It's right. Any oil. Please, boggle oil. Do you have boggle oil on you?
Boggle oil?
Boggle oil.
Afraid I'm fresh out.
Oh, that's too bad. Be pretty helpful to have some.
I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, you don't look like you're from around here, huh?
Not really, no.
Oh, where are you from? Like hither or yon? Or from the place where, you know, lots of people go to, lots of people come from.
Witchlight.
Oh. Do you like that? They have benefits. They looking for an oil guy.
I don't think so. No.
Oh. The name's Squirt, by the way.
Cool. Enjoy your night.
Okay. It just...
This conversation had a chance of continuing right up until the moment this guy's name was Squirt.
That's where you draw the line, huh? Okay, so yeah, Clout, you eventually find a decent enough corner to rest in, and thankfully, all of your evenings go by uneventfully. Nothing bad seems to happen here in Little Oak, and like pretty early in the morning, the tree itself will stir and just sort of begin making its more like lumbering path forward. And the thing with tree ents is that, much like snowflakes, none two are rightly the same. The malaligned tree ent that had done the eating on Clout, you saw, was more of like a standing Tim Burton style tree, whereas Grandpa Oak was much more like hunched over, and Grandfather was not. I don't think he was an oak. I might have been calling him Grandfather Oak. We'll just roll with it. But Little Oak is more of like leaning forward, and sort of like the top end sort of like snakes forward, while the bottom kind of goes with it, almost like the top is making sure that the area that it's going to be going to is going to be safe for it to step, versus something that moves almost like a tower would. And I feel like with Lowry and Vice, if the two of you had slept outside, or if the two of you had kind of gone back in, you would have the opportunity to get into Juniper's cart and then follow along until it makes its rightful next stop. First thing in the morning, you see those of you who stayed inside of the Getaway Gang's special secret hideout. Will goes into a very exaggerated stretch. Like if you've ever seen someone sleep and they just like assume the starfish position, where like it is like you're trying to grab at every corner of the bed with every appendage that you have. That is Will, but like he's like stretching over other kids, and then as he wakes up, he continues to stretch and just. And as that like full body stretch hits, you see like his back arch, and he levitates off the ground for a little bit and floats, and then he just like almost like a piece of paper sliding back down, he lands on the other kids, but
in a very unpan-like manner.
But as he lands, it seems like that's when all of the weight kicks back in, and he purposefully like lands hard on all of his friends, who then start like pushing him off and getting rowdy. And he says, "All right, Getaway Gang, you know what this means. Time for the most important meal of the day. First dinner." And the other kids are like, "Yeah, I don't want first dinner. We have something else." Well, we don't really have access to a whole lot else, other than first dinner, and then we'll have second dinner around like a couple hours from now, and then, you know, the last dinner.
If Vice checks their like pantry stores, is it all just macaroni, cheese, and dried meats?
For the most part, yes.
Is there nothing else?
There's candy. And it looks like the candy has not been touched for some time.
Gross. So, all right. What Vice is going to do? Is there some sort of grinding apparatus?
I feel like Pamferdam would probably have something, at least like a mortar and pestle that you could use.
Do we have eggs?
You could make a survival check to go and find some eggs.
I am going to make a survival check to find
Would you
some
like help
eggs.
from the druid to go find some eggs?
Please. Yes.
Okay, what's your survival?
It's +0.
Okay. The druid will go in search of eggs. 11?
You do find eggs. They are not easy to get to. Roll a d6.
Oh boy. Ha! It's a 6.
Okay, with the 6. So you managed to grab a total of 4 eggy. You would grab the other 2, but you see that the mother bird, whose eggs you are currently nabbing, is attempting to, is coming back, and it's like, okay, we gotta go. And these are sizable eggs, I want to say. They're healthy.
Okay.
I would also say that you find it's like a bag of old rice. It's been kept well, but you don't think any of the kids rightfully know how to
Cook rice.
cook rice well. It's there. You just don't think they know how.
That's fine. I'll use the rice.
What are you planning on making?
Some bread.
Mm.
He starts pouring rice into the mortar and pestle and starts grinding them up into a flour.
Pamferdam, can I borrow a small hammer?
Pamferdam hasn't been with the group yet this morning. They were still left to their own devices building.
Sounds threatening.
Clout!
Clout
Do you
comes out
have
of
anything vaguely
pantry.
hammer-like that I can use to crack these eggs? They're bigger than like chicken eggs, so you're gonna need something to hit them with. You can't just. They're more likely to break the bowl than to break themselves.
He kind of like stares at the egg for a second. And he just sort of like reaches out.
Hands over an egg.
He'll crack it on his horn.
You know, that works.
It's a
That's
little
clean, right?
bit of eggy. Like,
I would say his egg on your face, but
You on the nose.
a little too on the nose.
Where do you want it?
In the bowl?
Splort. No!
well, it's one of those kinds of days. So, guys, making some eggy. You're making bread. What a great time. You do not see... I guess there would be an oven and a stove. It seems like it was... it took some time to get Little Oak on board being a living tree to have an apparatus that is used to contain fire. But it keeps the kids happy.
The fire or the stove?
Keeps them fed.
Yes.
But it's gonna be just bread with cheese omelet.
And like at this point, I would say like Will is you see that he has like a lot of papers in front of him and he's like furiously drawing something and like always putting his like thumb and forefinger under his chin and looking so serenely out the window, and then he'll go back to like drawing a big thing. Whereas it seems Bobby, the young dwarf, is like just like hovering. He's not over your shoulder because small, but you do have this like 12, 13-year-old that is like, oh my god, you are a wizard right now. Because you are providing a new thing with things that they already had that he didn't know you could make.
I will teach this young one.
Make a performance check.
Where is this button?
Do we know if these kids can read?
It would seem that would be a very good question to ask these children.
Okay. I couldn't remember if we established that previously with story time.
No, I think we were trying to figure out if Clout could read or not.
Yeah, that was the
Well,
big
yeah,
question.
that's still up in the air.
I got an 18 for that performance
If
check.
Clout can read, anyone can be taught.
You have the 18. Bobby is like, he's picking up what you're putting down, and then he's like, as you're like explaining the process, like he's even describing like, oh, sometimes we find like these herbs out in the woods, like I can dry those up and I could add those in, right? And like he seems like very much like, oh my god, like young budding chef. Yes.
Bless.
Yes.
Bobby, how are your reading skills? Because I can write this all down for you, but I can do it in pictures or I can do it in words.
Well, that depends. When you say reading, do you mean
Like words in a book?
what kind of book? Like
Kind
one
with
that
no
has like
pictures.
people making like the poses that Will does when he draws them, or like ones that have like the more like block letters like my parents would write in, or like ones that like you would find at like the big stores in the main city that they said that everyone could read, but those letters were hard.
Lowry's going to take out a slip of paper and write down, "The quick brown fox jumps over the log," and say, "What does this say, honey?"
You write it in common or do you write it in dwarvish?
She doesn't know Dwarvish, so it'll be in common.
Yeah, he'll look at it and then he writes something in Dwarvish and says, "What does this mean?" His hand, like you can tell, like he's like, it's not like he's not holding a pencil correctly. It's like the full grip, and it's like he's like carving the letter into the page.
I think that answers my question. I'll write it in a way that you'll always be able to read it.
And he just puts his hands on his hips and then nods.
Mm-hmm. Clout?
Yep.
You're a bard, right?
Theoretically.
How are your artistic skills?
I can give it a go. What do you need?
Perfect. Slaps down a stack of papers in front of you. So, I'm going to tell you what parts of the recipe that I need drawn out, and I need you to draw them out.
All right.
I don't think the kids can read.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
All right. She will write down Vice's directions and then have you translate them with your artistic abilities.
All right, Clout, roll for performance or sleight of hand, whichever one you think is a more art derivative skill.
I got a 22.
A 22?
Yeah. He just draws whatever would be useful for him at that age.
Okay. Yeah. It comes out looking wonderful. Very concise, single page. And then at the bottom, I assume that there's like... In AD&D, in the complete Book of Dwarves, they have a picture of Moradin, and Moradin is holding this young dwarf. Like, he looks like he's Dave's killer bread. Like, he looks like he is Dave looking at this fucking, like, dwarf loaf. And I feel like that is the equivalent, is, like, this picture of Moradin just being like, hey, like, look at this loaf of bread that I made. So good. Yum, yum. Put nuts and shit on it.
Love it. She'll
No.
tack it up somewhere when she's done in the kitchen.
Dwarf loaf.
Mhm.
It has drawings and written instructions, and as simple as you can get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that it's like it's helpful in both ways. Like if
Two
you can read,
eggs
you can read,
into
but, like,
flour. Yeah.
yeah.
So you're saying
like-
that this doesn't have like a half page telling you about the first time that you had bread and its like importance in your family.
No, you don't get the tragic backstory of your grandmother's loaf of
Aw,
bread.
man. Well, I know it's a good recipe then. But yeah, so you are able to do this thing. Pam, you and Vice, or Vice is making the bread, Lowry and Clout are translating. Vice, or Pam, as you are sort of like watching all this unfold, Clapperclaw is like becoming closer and
I'm
closer.
not there.
Huh? Oh, Clapper
I'm not
isn't
there.
there. He's in your bag.
No, I'm not there. The last I've done is walk to a private area to build things.
Okay, got you.
I
thought
like
that
every
were
time you
still
say you're
here.
not there, it makes me even more concerned.
I mean, I'll be there.
Okay,
Isn't Little Oak on the move?
yeah, but we can go to like a separate
Okay.
bit. It's fine. He's just like not in the room where this is happening, but he's there. So yeah, yeah, you finish your project or continue the project that you've been working on. No issue. And at some point, you smell breakfast, which is good. The rest of your party, breakfast is being made, and Will, you see, eventually comes over with these large stacks of papers, and he lays them out onto the table, and then like sets plate on top of it. And he seems like he's going to be equal points pointing with his fork and also using his fork to eat food. So it seems like having paper placemats for this young man was the correct call to go to. But as he kind of showcases, he first shows you what looks like a big circle. And then there are what look to be some mountains, a body of water in the center, a couple rivers, and then even what looks like ocean in the top, and he says, okay. So I know that you guys aren't from around here, so you probably don't know the lay of the land, but I've been here for a while, so I figured we could do like a big grand tour of this place, but we need to go and go to figure out toy factory stuff. So I figured I would at least give you the rundown of the place that we're in. So this is thither, and he has the map up, and we are here, and he stabs towards what looks like a tree that's giving some thumbs up, and it looks like Will has artistic skill. He's very talented. You don't see letters necessarily, but everything is very distinctive in its artistic appearance. And he says, then down here is the Wayward pool, and that's where you can find the unicorn. That's where we met you guys. And then all the way down is Old Man Nib's house. And, well, it's not really a house. It's more of a cave. Sometimes we play pranks on him, but it's kind of sad because the ghosts are already playing pranks on him all the time, and it just doesn't... It's not as fun. He doesn't... Have you ever pulled a prank on somebody and they just go, oh, I deserved it? Versus, getting, oh, you, and try and chase you. It's not the same.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun if they're upset about it. Mm-hmm. Hey, the Wayward pool, right?
Yeah.
Do you know how to get in there?
Oh, yeah. No, it's super easy. You just got to be a unicorn.
Okay. None of us are unicorns. Is there a way to...
And
be one?
Will just sort of is there a way? Of course there's a way. You know why? Because there's a Will. And he walks over to where Squirt the oil can is, and he just goes, hey, over here, and just, not now, Boggle Oil, and kind of pushes his hand over, and you see the little oil can just go tilt to the other side. Yeah. But the face is in the pillow, and you just hear a muffled and Will opens up this small dresser, his cabinet. And they start pulling out different kinds of fabric and clothes. And then they pull out what looks to be it looks like a hood, but the hood neck goes up and then out in an almost garish looking representation of what a horse could be. And it has a stick that's just directly from the top. And Will puts it on. And then you see Bobby kind of tuck under the back of it, and the two of them prance around a little bit.
Are you telling me this works?
And Will nods. You just have to be a unicorn. It's not hard.
Okay, this is a prank, right? He turns and looks at the other two.
And the other two are just one of them just shakes their head no. And
definitely pulling our legs here.
Will takes off the helmet, sets it down, and he doesn't fold the cloth, but he drapes it over so that way it's easy to all grab at once later on. And he says, it's not a prank because you are fun. You have fun swears. And I kind of like it when you guys help out around. And Bobby is just puts their hand to their ear. And the other kid's just ooh. And Will's shut up. I don't know. The kitchen looks really nice. And you invented this new vessel of food?
It's bread.
If that's what you want to call it, fine, wizard.
We are
Hag
very
magic.
happy. We are very happy to have spent time with you. But don't go running around just calling things hag magic, because that is very dangerous. You might actually tick off a hag.
Well, how else do you describe what he did? I didn't see any spell stuff. There wasn't any, like, grand flourish. He just started doing stuff with a mortar and pestle, and the next thing I know, that thing's there now, and it wasn't there before.
It's cooking. It's more akin to alchemy than anything.
What's akamaki?
It's like a potion making. But without
Hag magic.
No, it's no, sweetie. But you do have the ability to make it, because there is now a recipe that you can all follow.
So you're saying any one of us can be a food wizard? And Bobby pipes up, I'm gonna be a food wizard. You're saying Bobby's gonna be a food wizard?
Bobby did follow along with Vice, so Bobby has firsthand knowledge.
You've been promoted in the getaway gang, and Bobby just, you are official food wizard. And then Bobby says, Does that mean I get to be in charge of first, second, and third dinner? Like, you betcha. It's a lot of responsibility, little guy. I'm not little, I'm just as old as you are.
You know, the most important part of being a food wizard is also delegating the additional work, because a food wizard's magic all goes into making the food, and they need a clean prep space. So you'll need to delegate at least 2 people before and after to make sure that your work area is clean. Otherwise, the food, you just can't make it.
And Will says, okay. All right, Bobby? Bobby nods. And then you see the 4 kids all, like, group up. And getaway gang! Official decision powers, go! And they all put their hands up with one hand flat and another hand as a fist. And they go, Rochambeau! And then, like, they each, like, rock, paper, scissors for it until eventually, as luck would have it, Will is not one of the individuals that will have to do any of the cleaning.
There will be another direction sheet that goes on the wall for the cleaning assistants, the food assistants, the food wizard assist. The name's being
Food
workshopped.
apprentices.
Food apprentices.
And, like, Will looks at it, just, shore sheet.
Mm-hmm. It's very important. So these
What are
ones
shores?
Here, that is what preps the space for the food wizard so that they can make the yummy food.
Oh, like the ocean, like when the shore comes in.
Exactly. And it cleans everything away. You're very smart.
Of course I am. I'm the leader of the getaway gang.
We will trick these kids into doing their chores.
One last thing with some leftover dough. Vice is going to fry it so that it's more of a tortilla, and he's just going to make a small little quesadilla and show Bobby how to do that.
And Bobby looks at it, and you can just see that, like, his mouth is, like, hanging open at the idea of what you just made. And, like, as he goes to compliment you, he, like, trips on his words, not because he cannot find them, but because there is too much saliva in his mouth.
There's just a triangle of quesadilla that goes whoop.
And you can see there is a moment of transcendence in this young man's eyes, where in that moment, much as in the movie Ratatouille, where, like, the old food reviewer eats the food and, like, he's transported to, like, being a young boy free again. Like, that's Bobby, but he is the young boy, and he's just imagining being an even freer, even younger boy.
Bread and cheese.
Like the freest, youngest boy there is already.
He's imagining being Will of the Wood.
He's just flying.
Now,
Blessed.
the trick is if you put a little bit of that spicy jam on it. gets even better. But it's an acquired taste if you're not into spicy.
And he just like nods. Like he'll eat anything at this point. You're a fucking food wizard, and you just showed him like a brand new world that is not macaroni and cheese 3 times a day.
Got a flask of oil. It's not boggle oil, but it's like lantern oil. How does Squirt like that?
Let me check.
I hate that his name is Squirt, though.
I do too.
Hey there, Squirt. This, I know it's not boggle oil, but what do you think of this?
Describe it to me.
And Squirt's like face down. And then you pick it up and just, oh, what is that? Is that? It's not boggle oil.
No, it's just a regular lantern oil.
Like
Gotta be-
whale, olive, some kind of concentrated fat or something.
I'm not really sure.
Real property of kerosene.
Does it? Will it mix well with the little bit of oil that's still left inside of me? Oh, I just want to say, I think we may have got off on the wrong can yesterday. Look, the kids, I love them to death. They use me in their pranks sometimes. Though, if something's chasing them, they'd leave it up to old Squirt to make the stairs slippery.
Huh. I see. Seems like you're plumb out.
I'm all dried up. I haven't had boggle oil in some time.
I'll give him a little tip of the like the regular oil and say, how do you feel? How's that?
Oh, this doesn't sit well at all. It was smooth, going down smooth like oil. But it's not. And like they keep making these droning noises until eventually you see their little mouth just and like the oil comes back out of the top. Like they are making a yarfing sound with their mouth, but it is just like spooting back out of the top.
So sorry.
I was built for one purpose. I'm not a multi-tool.
Right, okay. If we find any boggle oil, be sure to make sure you get it.
If you do, I can be super helpful. I promise.
Sure you can.
No,
Alright.
I can.
Okay, no, I didn't say you couldn't.
Look, when I came to this place, I came with a bunch of dwarven explorers that were looking to unlock the secrets of boggle oil. So they made me smart. They gave me life. And then I don't know what happened to them.
Right.
But then the kids found me and used me for fun pranks and stuff. But they don't go and get boggle oil no more.
Has anybody seen Pam?
Who?
Not talking to you, Squirt.
Oh, okay.
Clout turns around, suddenly thinking of Pam for some reason.
I'm sorry, what?
Anybody seen Pam?
Not since last night. No.
Not since last night. The tree's been moving since last night.
Well, yeah, the tree always moves.
Yeah, but have you seen Pam since last night? Nine hells. Okay. He's gonna go outside and look for Pam.
Yeah, Pam, I would like there are like little small activity rooms that are up in one of these branches, and you could have easily just like delegated one of them to yourself.
So as Clout's out poking around looking for Pam, one of these little activity rooms has quite a different tone than the rest. What with the Fey magic affected by moods thing. There's a playroom that looks like it has like almost a cancerous infection on this tree. The plant matter around it is very rotted. The wizard's beard moss is like curled up and dried. And it looks like the like little like tent flap area has like angry eyebrows. As you can hear the occasional crash and like muttered curse word from inside.
Pam? That sounds like distress to me. I'm running in there.
When you run inside, it looks like there was a small, large-scale war in this room. There are shards of metal embedded in the walls. There are what looks like failed paper birds harpooned like darts in some places. There is a burning rocking horse in the corner, like kind of charred, still smoking, and like whipping past your head is a strange contraption that shatters up against the wall. As you see, Pamferdam is like sitting in the corner, like dejected and worn out, and they have their welding goggles on, but there's like puffy redness around their face as if they've been like fighting back tears for hours. And I just like
I just can't make anything right anymore.
Hey, whoa, Pam.
I just want to make something that's not gonna hurt anybody, but I try to make things soft and they come out sharp, and I try to make the things that will be fun to play, and they just don't stop screaming. And I wanted to make a music box. It just makes my nose bleed. And...
Hey, whoa, calm down.
I want my old hands back. I don't like making kids cry anymore.
He sort of rubs the back of his head. He's gonna sit down next to Pam. Is it okay if I touch you?
Okay.
He'll put a hand on his back, just sort of like
massive hand on gnome back.
Yeah, just sort of like rub it a little bit. Hey, listen, we're working on this, all right? Like you already knew all of this was an issue. You're getting worked up over it.
I never wanted to be someone who made machines of war, and that's like the only way to escape it where I live. I was gonna take over the orphanage, but the only thing I can make now kills people. War just makes more orphans and more lost kids and more this kind of stuff.
Well, we're working on fixing that. And hell, I mean, doesn't scare every orphan. I mean, look at Clapperclaw.
I'm pretty sure Clapperclaw's a couple 100 years old.
Yeah, sure, but I don't know, the stuff that you make works for him. I don't think there's any toy maker out there with normal hands that'd be able to make things that make him happy.
Yeah. It's just... War's the only thing kids like me knew where I grew up. And so... I started learning how to make toys, and it was like the one bright thing that happened in my city, and finally made kids look like they were looking forward to life. And then I made a heck up, and I went to a circus without paying, and now I make scary war machines, and the Empire keeps calling me to make more weapons.
Well, sometimes mistakes follow you like that. It's not fair, but one mistake has consequences that follow you for years.
Yeah.
Best we can do is just try and fix it.
I hope I can. I don't like what I build anymore.
Pam just kind of falls silent and stares at their shaky hands for a bit.
You know, it's all right to take a break, right?
I'm very tired. I
Well,
think
when I was young, Cordial used to say this one thing. And did you sleep at all tonight, Pam?
no. I was trying to make like a game or something, and like I just got really frustrated, and I don't know, it kind of turned into a long night.
There comes a certain point where you have to ask yourself, like, do I hate everything I do? Do all my friends hate me? Or do I just need to get some sleep? And usually the answer is the sleep thing.
Okay, well,
Just lets the goggles fall out of his hands to the ground, and
I guess I could take a little nap and try and sort this out in a minute. Where is everybody? I lost track of time. Are we moving?
Yeah, we've been moving for a bit. There's some breakfast in the kitchen. I guess that counts as a kitchen. Yeah, if you want to eat, you can head over there. I'll clean up here.
Okay. Thanks for talking to me, Cloud.
That's not a problem.
Pam sleepily stands up and dusts some of the gunpowder off of them and sniffles and heads out the tent flap to find out where everyone's at and find some food.
Okay. So you did not sleep, correct?
No long rest for Pam.
Okay, sounds good. Make a Constitution save for me.
Sure thing.
And while I'm doing that, Cloud, as you're cleaning up, you can see that there are really cute schematics of toys and puzzle games and like written out explanations as to like the metaphors behind everything and why this particular thing will help this one child with this one trauma. And then you see nearby like the shattered remains of some twisted monstrosity that was made instead. Constitution save, you said?
Yeah.
Is this a magic save?
This is not. This is against exhaustion.
Okay. Modified 20.
Modified 20. Yeah, Pam, you are trucking. It is a long night. If you had coffee, your stomach might feel a little weird, but like you're still working on it.
At this point, Pam will eventually find their way to where the smells of quesadillas are coming from.
Yeah.
Is there any food left?
There's just a plate slid in front of him.
Okay, I'm gonna eat this for a little bit, and just gonna kind of just lay my head down on it. It's a good pillow.
Pam just starts to fall asleep on the quesadilla.
And I'd say after about like 25 minutes or so, Cloud ends up coming back in, and Pam, like, you were in the start of a really good long rest or a pretty satisfying short rest.
I would say it depends on the eagerness of the children, really. I suppose how fast they want to get to work on their next plan or whatever, because that'll probably wake up Pam.
Yeah, we'll bring that up to the party, which is, okay, so we've had a general idea of how to, like, do Loomlurch, or like Loomlurch, figure out what we're doing with it, right? But that was when there was only the 4 of us in the getaway gang, but now we have you 4 honorary getaway gang members as well. So I need to rework the plan a little bit and like make my grids, you know?
So we were told something very interesting about Skabatha.
What about it? That she's nasty and smells like pee?
No.
I don't know if it's true, but she probably does.
Something about when she
What?
wakes up.
Who peed? What? I'll get them up. Where are
Thank
we?
you, Pamferdam.
Oh,
No, you already mopped it. You can go back to sleep.
oh, what's going on?
Doing a
Are
bit
we
of plan-
heisting?
We're doing a bit of planning. I could update you later on if you wanted to catch a few Z's, as it were.
No, it's okay. I'm here now. I'm for it. I'm here for it. Let's do it. Child labor. Let's stop it.
Well, we were told something interesting about Skabatha, and right after she wakes up, I was actually wondering, what if she looked into a mirror?
Oh, you think they might like forget their sense of self or something, or go through a fugue state?
What?
Well,
I
a
think-
fugue, like a mental runaway. Your brain kind of.
No, I don't. I mean, like, I totally get what you're talking about, but like, Bobby probably it's going over his head a little bit, and Bobby's like giving him like the fuck, dude. It's like, but like, if you just want to like tell, like, if you just want to like say it for everybody, so that way like we're all on the same page.
All right, so like
But like, I totally like, obviously I get it, but you know, Bobby.
she forgets like whatever she looks at first, right?
Yeah.
She can forget who she looks at first.
Yeah. So what if she saw herself first?
Okay.
I mean, she could forget who she is. It could have no effect if she's immune to that magic.
Have they ever gone? Like, have you ever seen them go to the bathroom and then come out really confused after brushing their teeth?
Well, no. To be fair, I never really saw them go to the bathroom, though.
I think that's for the best.
That's
That's fair.
gross.
Are there a lot of mirrors or anything, or reflective surfaces in the place? I'm actually kind of curious about this theory now.
I don't think so. Last I did the look around,
Reconnaissance.
that one. But I do know what her general like day-to-day is.
Perfect.
That first thing that she does in the morning when she wakes up is that she goes to her garden. And then most of the day that she spends in the kitchen. And then occasionally she'll visit her like the place with all the books and stuff. Where you like sit and read.
Archives?
Close enough. Yeah, that's what I said. And then before she goes to bed, she likes to kind of like make sure that everything fell into place throughout the day. Like she'll inspect her like the sewing room and the place where they make like they turn threads into clothes and stuff, and then the workshop. And then after that she goes to her bedroom, and then she goes to sleep.
What time of the day do they typically wake up, or evening, or whatever that is?
Early. They always woke up before I did.
You think maybe when they're out, doing their rounds, checking on the sewing room and loom and all that, we could sneak in. If we've been able to sneak into that at that point, we can sneak into their room and put a mirror up above their bed. Would they notice something like that when they're sleepy?
Possibly.
I never went into her room while she was sleeping. That's weird.
No, I'm saying while they're out, like when they're like, I'm gonna go check out
Oh,
the workshop and
um,
see what's up.
Maybe. I'm not really sure. That was actually what I was. So you guys want to know when she wakes up, right?
Mhm.
Okay. This. So, you want to know when she wakes up. I wanted to do some more of that Rika Nika stuff that you were saying. Doing the old looky-loo. And then you all wanted to go to speak to the unicorn. So, if you go and speak to the unicorn, I can do the Rika Nika. And then get like a general idea. But I don't know what time they'll be able to wake up. And staying up throughout the night's hard.
Well,
It is.
do you have any like tea or coffee or anything?
What's coffee?
No.
No. No. No. No. No. No.
No.
Why?
Children and caffeine are a hard no.
Mm.
I'm not a kid, okay? I'm 12. What's coffee? I can take it.
Preteens and coffee are a hard no.
Strong. I've been
That's
12.
fair, actually.
I've been 12 for a while now.
Coffee's gross.
How long have you been 12?
It's a while.
Like, how long's a while?
More than a little bit.
Yeah. Are there like regular parties that happen in this area to celebrate like a year or whatever?
We don't have parties to celebrate birthdays, but we have parties, at least the getaway gang, we all have freedom parties. Like days, like our getaway party.
Hey,
And
I'll
I've
try
had,
and work on a way to figure out some time about that.
well, that's the thing, is that sometimes, back when I was still over in the Loomlurch, I would see sometimes there would be like sow pig. She would like come through, like she would come through a mirror, and she would lead, and like she would bring like kids with her. And every once in a while, those kids would say that they weren't a kid. But then after a couple days, they wouldn't remember not being a kid.
Sow pig have like a lollipop,
Yeah, she's real spooky. She's got like a pig mask on.
right?
Yeah, from what I remember, she was like, Skabatha was like digging up dirt somewhere. I think it was like a grave or a cemetery, and then she found this like spooky looking person there, and then they hit it off, and now Sow Pig is like her number one.
Gotcha. He's gonna turn to the others. One of the hag servants. I've seen her
It
before.
sounds
Creeps me out.
like what I saw when that couple was taken individually. They were turned into children and passed through the mirrors.
It sounds like there's a lot of mirrors at that place then, probably, unless they had the mirror places somewhere off of her main compound.
Well, it's all
I
one
don't-
big tree.
Oh, so she lives in a tree.
Well, yeah, the tree like fell down, and then she like lives in it. And then there are some other trees that are like growing out of it, but like I don't think she lives in those ones. I just in the main one.
I like the idea of reusable housing like that. But, okay, a lot of tree action going on in this place.
But so let's review the plan. You guys go, and we'll introduce you, or at least take you to Wayward Pool, so that way you can speak with the unicorn, second part of the plan, you guys are going to definitely give me some coffee, and then I can stay up all night forever, and then keep a sharp eye out and do the Rika Nika at Loomlurch, so that way we know what time Granny Nightshade wakes up in the morning. So that way we can all like be there right at the break of dawn.
So you want... All right, fine. If you want to be an adult, we'll treat you like an adult. One moment. Lowry's going to go to the kitchen.
Okay, it's like 3 steps over.
I would like to druid craft some herbs. And I'm not going to make coffee, but I am going to make the equivalent of Feywild Robitussin. And I'm going to come back with a little cup of that. All right, you want to be an adult? Be an adult.
And he looks at it and looks at you. This is coffee? I mean, it's obviously coffee. I've had it before.
I'm sure you have.
And he, like, smells it. And then you just see, like his hair already standing tall, like, curls a little bit. And then... like, the other kids are like, come on, Will, yeah, drink it, Will. You said that you're an adult, drink it. And he's just like, I'm going to. And he gets, like, this big, like, that look of like, I'm going to do it. And you see him just slam back this Feywild Robitussin. Now, as somebody who has not, in their memory, consumed Robitussin, what does it taste like?
It tastes like cherries that went so bitter that your tongue just rebels against the rest of your mouth. And you can't get the taste out. It lingers for so long that you have to drink several glasses of some sort of liquid. Heaven forbid it be anything other than water. Because that taste is going to mix, and it's going to be almost worse than any illness that you're taking Robitussin to try and cure. You'll probably hand him orange juice afterwards.
And you see he drinks it, and his face is staunch. And then you see the corners of his mouth continue to, like, peek down as he just gets this large frown on his face. Just...
good job. Obviously, you're very much an adult, just like the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Because I drink coffee. And now I'm going to be able to stay up forever. Worth it. And then you see him rush over to the sink and just like he's just like rubbing his tongue down with any sort of liquid that he can find, and the other kids are like laughing at him. And he like looks over, he's like, shut up, and like keeps like trying to clean it, but like he can't like get the words shut up out without like his stomach lurching a little bit from this Feywild Robitussin.
Anyone else want to try and be an adult today?
Well, since you got it, I could probably go for a cup of coffee to wake up a little bit.
Pam didn't make no insight check.
Pam just saw beverage being served to a child. So, Lowry, do you indulge Pam?
How about I make you a fresh cup later?
Okay.
You see that Zenor, the young orc child, like raises their hand. They want to be an adult.
Alrighty. Just remember you asked for it.
Okay. She's tenacious, so she don't mind.
What if she
How to
loves
make
it?
sure kids never want to drink coffee. Give them something that's not coffee.
Or just give him coffee.
So she, like, you give her this cup, and she looks at it, kind of, like, swishes it around a little bit. Almost like you would, like, when you're trying to, like, aerate a fine wine, and you're like, yes, the particulates. Hey, RJ.
Hey,
Roll me a d20 and then add 5.
7.
7. She slams it back. And then there are 2 young kids over by the sink, just like doing their best, and like she's like using like her nails are pretty finely kept, and she's just like trying to like scrape off the like bad on the tongue. And like that is like the 2, like Will and Zenor are both realizing that maybe coffee is not for them.
Yeah, I remember my first cup of coffee.
All right, so at that, because Will and Zenor are both currently otherwise occupied, it is going to be Sloane and Bobby that will take the like head of their unicorn costume, as well as the sheets. And they inform your group that they will escort you while these 2 finish getting the taste of coffee out of their mouths.
What's up with the costumes?
It's the only way, apparently, to get to the pools.
Oh, really?
Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah, you gotta be a unicorn, says Sloane.
Oh, alright, well, I guess if we already talked about this and it seems to check out.
Yeah, I'm still not so sure they're not pulling our tails.
Like, this costume's good, but if there was, like, any of you who could just, like, be a horse, you could even, like, tie a dagger onto their head, and then, like, you could just walk through and it'd be fine.
I imagine the entire party turns to Lowry.
It's a shame none of us can be horses.
Yeah, so rather right shame that none
What?
of us could be horses.
I mean, don't you know
talking about?
polymorph?
Lowry could be horses.
Don't.
Yeah,
In
right.
fact, that is magic far beyond me.
Oh, did you want me to turn into a horse?
No one can
Well,
just,
not-
like, turn into a horse, says Sloane.
Y'all have not been out in the wild beyond this witchlight or whatever very much, have you?
He said the thing, roll the credits!
Credit roll! You know what? As Pamferdam says this, that is where we are going to go into our break for the evening. So we're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we will see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. We're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome. We have returned to our Wild Beyond the Witchlight game. One of these young children, Sloane of the Getaway Gang, has sarcastically asked you, mentioned that your group, that no one can just turn into a horse. To which Lowry, the party has sort of all, like, head swiveled in your direction. As, again, these 2 kids are carrying with them, the facsimile of a horse.
Lowry's just gonna, all right. She's gonna hand the rest of the container of what she made for the kids, that is coffee, and hand it off to Clout. Give this to someone in case they get, a sore throat or something.
Wait, that
She
wasn't
hands you-
actually coffee?
She elbows you and hands you the Robitussin. And then she'll turn into a horse.
Sloane's jaw drops. But like as it drops, you see that her normally like slightly cynical eyes soften and her eyes get wider. There's a little bit of a sparkle that seems to come with it as she just I mean, it's whatever. But like she keeps like now like Sloane is like always like very close to you.
You ever ride a horse?
Nope. Uh-huh.
Pamferdam was here the whole time. Hello, I'm Pamferdam now.
Yeah, when you ask that to Sloane just like very like quietly, very to herself, just like shakes her head and says no.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah, Lowry turned into a Cremello horse, all white everything.
yeah, it looks like Sloane was a secret horse girl, and seems just enraptured by the thought of riding said horse.
You cool with that, Lowry?
Like the front feet. Just tap, tap, tap.
I'll take that as a yes.
Megatron, please.
And Clout, when you say, I'll take that as a yes, Sloane just says, obviously that means yes. It's like you don't know anything about horses. Like,
I honestly don't. He'll pick her up and just like plop her onto the horseback.
All right. Layout's broken a little bit, but hopefully Mediaflare will be back. Otherwise, we will receive a message.
His internet service provider conked out.
Oh no! All right.
Incredible.
Well, we can't see ourselves really in the layout. So, Mediaflare, from beyond, can you tell us? Is it an outage, or will you be back? Because we can go to a break again. We can extend it. But if it's out, then we will have to make a quick pause on this game. Because we don't have a layout set up for just three people in all of this.
I've still got sea shanties stuck in my head. Leave her, Johnny, leave her.
All right. We're going to hit a break screen. If we don't come back, y'all know what happened. And we'll see you next week and remember that you're loved. But if not, likely be lost for 30 minutes. Yeah, so it looks like we are going to have to call it early for the evening. But when we come back, hey, making our way to Wayward Pool, walking fast, faces past, and we are homebound. So with that, I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by and join us. Before we get to leave, though, let's do some outros. So, hey, RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, my name is RJ, and you can catch me at RJS282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I tweet about the nerdy things in my life and sometimes stream with my friends. You can catch me here on Mondays and Sundays. Mondays in our homebrew campaign is Kale and the Shatterkai Wizard. Sundays, of course, as Vice the Tiefling Rogue. Over on Thursdays and Saturdays with the GGK crew. Thursdays is our Elegant Creatures, a Urban Shadows Elegant Magics hack. Good Society hack. I just met my ex-girlfriend and she didn't know I was dead because I play the Spectre, and someone broke into my bar and tripped the alarm, and she was one of my emergency contacts, and now she knows I'm dead. Yeah, I had to explain that to her. And also on Saturdays, I think it's a Star Power weekend. It's going to be me, Danae, and we're going to be over at GGK doing our anime bestest to take down an evil organization, I think. I don't recall. Also on Sunday mornings, you can catch me over at the HypeGoblins channel, where I play a sorcerer bard Azamar who is intimidating the heck out of new cadets. TheNakeUner.com.
Oh, that's me then. Hi. I've done this for a few weeks now. Hey everyone, I'm Sarah, or the HypeGoblin. You can find me all over the internet under that name, where I do character cosplays. I don't know if you know that or not yet. And I do a whole bunch of stuff on TikTok and Instagram and Twitch and Twitter with the game that RJ is also in. You can also find me guest starring on a whole bunch of channels, including this one and the Bard's Playhouse, and a few others coming soon. There's also a Numenera game that will be launching on my channel probably by the end of the month. So stay tuned for those announcements. TheNakeUner.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Wings. also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. I've got a pinned tweet there, and it has my schedule with all of the streams that I'm in, so you can go and check that out. I was doing my best. I was closing my eyes so I wouldn't look at the
With the CC.
the captions. D&D. Incredible. Anyway, that's it. Go and check it out. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, hello everybody. According to the layout for this very brief moment, I am Pamferdam Roski. However, you might also know me as the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30, or Monday, Thursday, Sunday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Normally, we play for about 3 hours, internet service provided. But yeah, obviously, things did not work out as far as that goes in our favor tonight. Oh, hey, holy shit. Wait, we might
back,
be
baby.
Are we back? Is the band back together? Does it look stable?
I want to say that things look stable, but also I have no idea whether or not this will just immediately happen after saying it's stable.
All right. Well, we're going to call it good tonight and just hope for the best. But that still leaves us a little bit of chance. Hey, Mediaflare, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hello, everybody. I'm Mediaflare, and hopefully, if my internet provider will allow me to, I'll be streaming here and on my own channel. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Facebook. I also do voice acting. Currently, I am playing a character known as Russell Gainsley, a freelance journalist in the Star Citizen News meta universe. Brain fart, that whole tech issue like threw me through a loop. Otherwise, yeah, check me out here on Sundays. We got a project in the works soon too, and that's going to be very exciting. And thank you all for being patient with us. DanaeKeener.com.
You already heard most of my spiel. Indoor Adventurer. We do shows like this 3 times a week. This is your first time joining us, go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures. Check up on all of VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are being made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. But for now, we are going to be heading off, so I'd like to say thank you to everyone who decided to stop by and join us for this wonderful session of Dungeons and Dragons, because I couldn't do it without all of you viewers and listeners, but most importantly, I couldn't do it with all of these players. So I would like to once again say thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by, and thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right.
See you
everybody.
later, Silver Boy.
Bye-bye!